going on, guys? It's Caleb, and today I have a Honda CR-V that is in for a detail. Now we're getting to the point with my footage that we're catching up to where I was talking about just a few weeks ago about having enough time in the day to do interiors with the exteriors, and this is really where that trend kind of starts. I mean, if you guys know how YouTube works, most of the time when it comes to content creators, you usually have a little batch of footage that you have and you edit and release over time. That way you just have like a backlog of footage you can always depend on just in case anything were to happen. And I'm about, 3-4 weeks ahead of schedule when it comes to videos, and now we've caught up to the point where I actually have enough time to show you guys interiors. So it's not just interiors too. You're gonna see some utensils like brushes and whatnot change a little bit over time over the next few videos, and yeah, I'll end up showing you guys those at some point here in the next few weeks. As for now though, we have this Honda CR-V in, and it needs a really good cleaning both inside and out. But before we go any further, guys, if you could just take a real quick second and like the video, go ahead and press subscribe and go ahead and ring that bell. That way you know every single time I upload a video. This detail was one that needed, a lot of work to look at, and I'm happy that I could bring you both the exterior and the interior. As you guys know, I said a couple videos back that I'm gonna plan on doing way more of those, especially with the time change, and now that we're catching up to that footage that has both interiors and exteriors, we can enjoy some nice quality content of both. So yeah, guys, I hope you stick around for the second half of the video to see how much the interior did change, because this car ended up looking really nice for the customer, and they were just outrageously happy with it, which makes me even happier. So don't forget to follow me on Instagram at caleb.inc, and let's go ahead and get on with these wheels. And just a real quick little blip in here. So with these Steelies, there's just these little dirt spots that would not come out no matter what kind of brush I use, stiff bristle, whatever the case, it did not want to come out. So I put some brake buster on it, and then I went ahead and took this really stiff drill brush attachment that I had from a little kit that I got off of Amazon, and it worked like a charm, man. I was really happy with the results from the drill brush. We used it on every single wheel and cleaned them up. So you might have noticed it right off the bat, but the first step I did with anything in cleaning these wheels is I used an iron cleaner. The reason for that being is that these Steely wheels probably haven't had an iron decontamination in God knows how long, so I just wanted to go ahead and put that little extra oomph of cleaning power to it by using some iron decontaminant and just getting them, just a little more clean than what we could have already done. So let's go ahead and get this exterior started. The very first thing we're going to do is do a nice thorough pre-rinse to the exterior, so that way all the surface dust and dirt that is sitting there chilling on the paint can go ahead and come off, and that way it's nice and clean for us to move on to the next step. I'm also real quick going to go ahead and take some degreaser and use my brush and get into the gas cap area just to make sure that whole little place is done and forgotten about and I don't have to look at it again. And then we are going to use some Adams iron remover on the paint as well. The reason for this is because later on in the detail, I do plan on doing a polish and wax with a product that I totally forgot I bought, oh my gosh, maybe a year ago. And I'm not going to do a clay bar to this surface, mostly because I really don't want to do clay bars all that often. I mean, it is a pretty vicious thing to put on a car's paint. It's pretty stressful for it, and I really don't want there to be any extra marring and stuff like that, even if I am going to polish it. And after feeling the paint, I'm just going to take a wild guess that, you know, this iron remover here is going to do pretty well, and it did. I mean, it really did do well. I didn't get a gunked up pad or anything. You guys will see it later on down the video. Overall, though, the vehicle seems like it's been well taken care of. I mean, honestly, the paint is in solid condition and so is the exterior, so I wasn't really too worried about there being some massive amount of contaminants on the clear coat. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little cinematic there. I actually really enjoyed that one more than usual, and I have no idea why. I also just realized I have my microphone really close to my face. Oh man, oh. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and move on real quick and get these side steps all nice and cleaned up. I am using the same exact cleaner I do for the wheels P&S Brake Buster. And then after that, we're gonna go ahead and lower the cinematic bars one more time, foam this whole thing down again, sudsify my bucket, and give this thing a nice thorough hand washing. So earlier in the video I said there's a few new tools you guys are going to see me come up with here in the next few videos because my footage is now catching up. One of those things is the blower, the leaf blower I have. I am using that to go ahead and dry off certain vehicles, not all of them though. I did notice whenever I'm doing a vehicle in the hot sun and I'm having to clean it section by section, using a big absorbent towel is definitely the way to go to get that thing dried off real quick. But this right here is the polish and wax mix that I completely forgot I bought maybe about 8 months to a year ago or so. It's a 3D Speed 125, I think it is. It's like a polish and wax combined. I don't remember why I bought this thing. I really don't. I mean, it does seem pretty cool. I have no idea. But I do remember that it had a lot of good reviews, and I am using my dual action polisher with a yellow Rupes pad, which is going to be perfect for medium cut and, you know, polishing pretty much. This thing right here is going to work great with this particular product, and it did. I mean, the paint looked gorgeous, especially once we topped it with Speedmaker. Of course I use Speedmaker for this car. I use Speedmaker as a topper for just about any single vehicle that I possibly can, and of course it gave it the perfect final touch for amazing gloss. One thing I ought to know too is throughout me doing the polishing wax sort of thing, I did get it on the trim, which it's no problem because right after I got done polishing that certain section, I went ahead and had some cleaner. So that's why it looks like it's wet per se. I really did not try to prevent myself from attacking the trim with the polisher because I don't really think it can do all that much to it, especially after seeing how it looked whenever it did just barely nick it. But you know, I did have to clean it up. I didn't want to leave polish and wax and all that in the little crevices either, so I went ahead and cleaned that too. You're seeing me put on some tire dressing, which usually means that I'm just about done with the exterior. And I gotta say, this 3D product, even though I've only used it once, I mean, I really gotta recommend it. I really do. I don't remember buying it, but if you are a detailer and you offer something like a quick buff and wax or whatever they call it, I mean, this really would be a good product just for the ease of use. And the paint overall looked pretty nice. So yeah, enough of this stuff. Let's go ahead and move on with the interior. So as you can see, we do have our work cut out for us with this particular vehicle. Now, by far, this is not the worst I have ever seen. I have seen way worse. But combine the amount of work it takes with this particular interior, plus it being like 185 degrees outside here in Florida, I mean, it's some hard work. But at the end of the day, it was a lot of fun, and the interior ended up looking really nice. So I'm going to leave you guys to watch some of the parts here of me doing the interior, and I'm going to blip in every time you see me switch something around. For those wondering, I'm using a pretty much, you know, basic shop vac. And then for my cleaner, I'm using P&S Express interior cleaner, which is some of the best interior cleaner you can possibly get in my opinion, as well as a boar's hair detail brush and some microfiber towels. Now for those wondering about microfiber towels, a lot of people might not, but this is the kind of stuff I wonder, are these only interior towels? And yes, I have a select stack of only interior towels I use, and they're just whatever jumbo schmumbo microfiber towel I got in a kit from Walmart for like 90 towels or something dirt cheap. I mean, these towels don't last very long, and they're going to get extremely dirty every time I use them, so I try not to use any kind of fancy towels for an interior. So as I'm reviewing the footage and watching it all back, I can kinda tell it's all over the place, and there's one thing that really just needs to be noted. When you're working really hard in the Florida heat, and if you're a Floridian, you really know this, you kinda lose all track of structure. Like the whole job, the whole mindset is get this job done, do it right, and get it done, because it is so hot and humid. And that's exactly what happened here. I started off with structure. I did my usual, vacuum and everything, but then it just started with, all right, I'm gonna start cleaning this area, and then I'm gonna clean this area. Like I did finish vacuuming this whole part, but I'm gonna do this, and then I went to the back and I was like, I need to vacuum this and then clean this. It just looking back at it, man. I mean, the job did get done, and it did get done correctly with some sort of basic bare bone structure, but it kind of went off a little bit, and I started cleaning here and then vacuuming there. Yeah, whatever, we're moving on. So you'll see a lot of detailing YouTubers do this, but in reality not a lot of actual detailers do this. I mean, this is a nice little extra additive that you can do for every single detail that'll help you stand out more than others, and it's taking this sort of thing off right here on the bottom. Most cars have this where they have the spare tire. Just go ahead and take whatever cover there is on there, vacuum it all out, wipe it down real quick, and then just put the cover back on top. Most of the time people won't really notice that you did this, but at the end of the day you know you did it, and it really is a good gesture for those rarely who will notice it. I really gotta say, this car ended up looking phenomenal once I was done. I mean, I know the customer hasn't had this car cleaned in this kind of fashion for a long while, and I really wanted to do my part and try to get it extremely nice and clean, and then prepared from the inside to the outside for the future, right? Like, you want to protect the paint, you want to protect the interior from UV rays, that sort of stuff. And I think we did a pretty dang good job, because man was it hot outside, and I sure as heck was happy to get done with this thing. Overall though, it was fun, and it was fun to record it even though my camera overheated quite a few times, but at the end of the day I finally got a full-on interior exterior detail on YouTube for you guys. So if you enjoyed the video, please show me by leaving it a like, and if you like detailing content I upload weekly here, go ahead and press that subscribe button and go ahead and ring that bell, that way you know every single time I upload a video. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me once again, and I will see you all next week. I might have another video at the end of this week, but I'm not really sure. Either way, I will see you guys next time. See you later.